Have you not ever noticed that when you experience, when you are a three-dimensional reality, that three-dimensional reality which is a very narrow, rather, which is a very narrow band, that three-dimensional reality, have you not ever noticed that when you witness somebody new, when you have you not ever noticed that when you witness somebody new, you see a being and a person appears in the experience and something yells inside you, something happens, and you accept what's happening, what that phenomena, and you accept what happens, what that phenomena basically as a natural process. But I can guarantee you there is nothing natural about it. When you witness a being and something yells, and there creates a tension within yourself basically. And the tension is that we need to cage this person, we need to judge this person. If you understand, this is a disease, not even in this society, but in every society which has spread like a cancer, if you understand what I'm saying to you, which has spread like a cancer, unfortunately, in numerous societies throughout the globe, and it keeps humans, sadly and unfortunately, it keeps humans, sadly and unfortunately, totally preoccupied within themselves in their thought process. And the more they are involved in the thought process, the farther away they are from the process of evolution, evolving as a being, if you understand, not scientifically evolving, not evolving as a nation, not evolving as a culture, but the real evolution, the evolution from within, which does not even require mind and body. So something yells there, creates a tension in you that you gotta judge this person, you gotta cage this person so your mind can rest. That tension within you, it's a very unpleasant tension basically, because it pulls you towards, it inclines you towards this nasty habit. What is judgment? Judgment is that you have learned, it's a condition basically, and that you have learned it from while you were growing up. It's a nasty habit, just like somebody smokes. The person who smokes is condemned, and people say that you smoke is not a good habit. You see what I'm saying to you? I'm not defending the habit of smoking. I'm not defending. Absolutely, it's a nasty habit. It's deteriorating, unfortunately, your health, if you understand. It is what the word I'm looking for in English, that it is detrimental for your health. But this retreat and this message is not about smoking or anything like that, if you understand what I'm saying to you. This message is about the nasty habit, which is judging other people, or the judgments we have about others. Judging somebody is just as nasty habit as smoking. The thing is, smoking affects. Sorry, the about the airplane, not me. So the thing is, smoking basically affects the body, the physicality, which is a timely process happening. And after a certain period of time, we would shed our body and we would move on. But the real us moves on. Judging somebody or judging someone is also as the nasty habit as the smoking, but it actually directly affects or directly targets. It actually directly affects and directly targets your spiritual growth. So smoking is a nasty habit for your physicality, and judging other people actually attacks and victimize the being, the spiritual growth. That's why in the meditation today, when I went into a deep, excuse me, in to a deep state of samadhi, I realized this is something that I should bring some clarity regarding that. People, their intentions are good. Other day I was reading that somebody's inclined and has the intention. You see, intention is the birth of creation. Have you heard the term birth? So intention, basically, intention is the birth of creation, the birth. So their intention is pure. They mention they want to practice non-judgment, but the thing is, if you practice it, it may dissipate because it's a very strong conditioning. So if you want to get rid of this nasty habit, judgment, then first understand what judgment is. Judgment is nothing but a habit, as I said, a type of conditioning, basically, that every one of us learns from the society. There is no one to blame because everyone goes through the conditioning and everyone goes through the human domestication, and it happens to everybody. So there is nobody to blame. Blame game is not for me. If we just start blaming people, then the process of our evolution would stop, and we would deviate from our real purpose, and we would bend from our real purpose. So the blame game is not good. The blame game is not for us. But now we have free will. When we were children, when we were young, we were like a sponge. The human mind, when we are young, is very fertile for the seeds of thoughts and the concepts and the ideas and other habits that we absorb when we are young from those who are around us. You see, it's very fertile. And most of the time, we do not question things. But when we grow up like we are, like the grown ups as we are, basically, you now have a choice. You, my friend, my loved ones, people, you now have a choice to rewrite. You now have a choice to rewrite the story of your dream. You are dreaming in this moment right now. I can guarantee you that. You know how I know it? I know it through my own experience. I would have mentioned it if I didn't know through my own experience. You are dreaming what you understand life. You see, some of us can see that way, and some of us, unfortunately, are still cluttered judging others. You see, that's one of the reasons that I want you to keep yourself light from the nasty habits, which have unfortunately spread throughout the globe like a cancer and bringing a lot of differences among us humans. We were supposed to live in the humanity. We were supposed to live in the unity. We were supposed to live in peace. But instead, we have learned judging others, you see, and it keeps us preoccupied because mind would never rest. As I told you, as soon as you see somebody, mind tells you to start judging the person, and there creates a tension in you. The rubber band, you see, remember the rubber band? Can you imagine a rubber band? I'm sure that you can imagine a rubber band. Imagine a rubber band, and you are imagine a rubber band and you are pulling the either side. There starts a tension on the rubber band, and basically that kind of tension creates within you, you see, because of the condition that you have learned. Because of the conditioning that you have learned from others. So that creates a tension. So you need to see what you are doing with your thoughts. Gautama Siddhartha, you have heard of Gautama Siddhartha. You have heard of Gautama Buddha. Basically, Gautama Siddhartha or Gautama Buddha, um, the enlightened, he said nothing can be more detrimental to your spiritual growth than the but than the unguarded thought process. If your thoughts are not guarded, there is nothing so detrimental to your spiritual process but the unguarded thoughts. If your thoughts um, are not guarded, then your spiritual growth becomes zero, and you are stuck. And we don't want that. We, the sannyasis, the yogis, the meditators, the clairvoyant, you name it, we basically, we do not want it for you. So we want to see you happy. And how you become happy, you challenge everything that you have been handed over, every belief, every concept, every idea, the religion, the doctrine, the philosophies, the theories, everything. You see, you challenge and see what works for you, what makes you happy. You adopt that. You see, if it is going in accord with the nature, if it is going in accord with life, is only natural that it would make you happy. You don't really have to do anything. So when you see somebody, just the tension in the rubber band, that just like the tension occurs in you, that you, I gotta judge this person, mind says judge this person on the basis of everything that you know, you see, and then you judge the person so your mind can rest, but mind never rests. It moves on to the next person and the next person and the next person, just like the rubber band ball that I use the metaphor sometimes. Sometime I use the metaphor of rubber band ball, that all the rubber bands are entangled. All the rubber bands on a rubber band ball are entangled with each other, just like that. Thoughts are entangled with each other. So that happens, mind does not rest, moves on to the next thought. The only thing we can do, we can transcend the thought of judging others. You know, how do you transcend it? Basically, it requires a little bit of physical devotion towards Kriya meditation and clarity in your perception. Clarity is what I bring in your perception. You see, that's why I'm here, for bringing clarity each time you hear the words of truth and wisdom, able to see much, rather much clearly. You see, so when that happens to you, when the desire occurs, you can spot your thought of judging others right then and there, only if your mind is alert and your mind is sharp, only if you are not preoccupied with the objects and the thoughts and the beings around you, only when you are not so fascinated with the three-dimensional reality, which is in reality is a very narrow band. Remember, we have broadband and we have narrow band. So this is what happens. So remember that when the thought occurs and you are sharp enough and you are alert enough, you would know, now this thought is prompting me to judge somebody that I have seen on the basis of everything I know. What you know is the lie most of the time. You see the color, you see the face, you see how the person is talking, you see that how the person is walking, you see how the person looks, you see their weight, you see their height, you see everything, and then it triggers a ongoing, unfortunately, it triggers basically, it triggers ongoing process within you, because when you look at the weight, if you are, if you have opinions about weight, then you judge on that behalf. If you have opinions about color, then you judge on that behalf. If you have opinions about height, you judge on that behalf. If you have opinion about the personal, the person's background, where the person is coming from, what country, how the person is speaking. If the person is speaking English, that's a joke right there. It's just a language like any other language, and every language, every word in any language is a lie, which does not indicate to any type of reality. So what I'm saying to you, that when it does not indicate to any type of reality, it means word has no significance. But these are all the words which are basically bubbling in your mind and prompting you in form of thoughts. You see, you shape the words in a sentence, it becomes a thought, and then prompting you to judge somebody. But what you are judging your own knowledge, what you know. You are judging the concepts you have, you are judging your own opinions, you are judging the ideas you have, you are judging everything that you know, you are judging the theories, you are judging on the basis of knowledge that you have acquired from other people, and you have never bothered to challenge that knowledge, so you think it's true. And and this is all lie. So you are not perceiving the person as the person is happening. You are perceiving your own knowledge. Please know that. I repeat myself, you are not perceiving the truth. You are basically not perceiving the truth, or you are not perceiving the person as the person is happening. You understand what I'm saying to you? You are not perceiving the person, the truth as it is happening. You are perceiving what you already know. You see, so you, and then what you already know, after you have perceived, after you have gauged the person, after you have perceived a lie, the problem with that is then from then and on, you basically start looking at that person through that point of view, through that perspective, you see. And no matter how beautiful of the being is, no matter how good and compassionate and all the beauty the being encompasses, you are unfortunately unable to see that. And you know why? Because you are perceiving the lie. You are perceiving what you already know. So that's very detrimental. It would also keep you occupied. You would never rest within yourself, because it's a habit. And until unless you challenge the habit, you cannot get rid of the habit. You cannot quit the habit. You see, you cannot give up the habit. And we are here to make things easier for you, because we cannot see your suffering. We cannot see the humans are suffering. Quiet down the mind. You see, so that's why we are bringing clarity in your perception. Number two reason that you can discard a thought which prompts you to judge others. number number two reason that you can discard. Number two reason is, and number two is that you can discard the thought which is prompting you to judge others. You see, I'm giving you a tool now, so pay attention. Is any time you become alert through your dedication to Kriya Yoga, and you become alert through your dedication to Kriya meditation. And then any time when you are alert and it thought prompts you to judge somebody on the basis of all these abstract things that I listed not long ago, you ask yourself a question. Okay, so if I even judge this person, so mind, you consider mind is separate entity in this moment in time from yourself, please. Consider mind is separate entity in this moment in time, because then you would, otherwise you would lose the point I'm trying to make. So consider mind in this moment in time is separate entity other than yourself. So consider mind a separate entity, and look, imagine in your mind and look at the mind and ask, okay, mind, even if I accept your argument for the argument's sake, and if I judge this person, whoever the person may be, regardless of all the abstract concepts, how that is going to change anything in my life? You see what I'm saying to you? That is a very logical question to ask. What I'm saying to you is pure truth, and what I'm saying to you is pure wisdom. That is a very logical question to ask. That even so, if I do that, what is that habit? What is the action that I perform as you are prompting me? As you are compelling me to perform a certain karma, a certain nasty habit. And even for argument's sake, if I listen to you, if you understand, even for argument's sake, if I listen to you, how that is going to change anything in my life? What practical role it is playing? What happiness it is bringing in my life? I probably may get a little mind thrill, and after that everything goes back to zero, and mind says, okay, I need to be in function again. So the thing is, mind would never stop. As I have told you, it does not require, it's not physical. Mind is not physical. Do not confuse your mind with your brain. Brain is an organ in your head, but you wear your mind all around you. And mind does not require food. Mind is not thirsty. Mind never gets tired. Mind is the thought in action. You understand what I'm saying? Mind is the thought in action. As you heard the bell. As you heard the bell, this is the time for me for a private meditation session, if you understand. So I wanted to bring quickly. We didn't have time. I apologize for that because I am going to appear in a private meditation session. So ponder on my words, that what I have delivered to you, that, and use these tools. Become alert enough through your dedication. Let me see. We still have a few minutes anyway, so I will just wrap it up quickly, if you know. So become alert enough, first of all, become alert enough through your dedication. Become alert enough through your dedication to your practice. Become alert enough through your dedication to Kriya meditation specifically, okay? And ponder on what I said. Perform meditation every day, you see, no matter for how long, but try not to make it too short, basically, because meditation would bring clarity and alertness in yourself, and you owe yourself that much. If you understand what I'm saying to you, you owe yourself that much. You owe yourself to your personal well-being that much. So please understand that ponder on what I said. Ask the thought when it prompts you that, are you not going to judge this person so I can rest? When mind says, are you not going to judge this person so I can rest? And you look at the mind and you say, no, you stay where you are and let me rest, because I consider you as a separate entity. So you stay where you are and let me rest. I shall not do that, because even if I do that, it doesn't bring any pleasure in me. Even if I do that, it doesn't bring any happiness in me. It is not playing any practical role. It is not going to change it is not going to change the very experience of my life that I am living. If you understand what I'm saying, it is not going to change the very experience of my life that I am living. You have a life to live, don't you? I have a life to live. We all have a life to live. You have a life to live. So remember that when we have a life, we all have a life to live, then we must be very equipped with the right tools to discard anything which prompts us to unhappiness and prompts us to accumulate more karma. You see, we must be equipped with the right tools. So today is a tool that I gave. You look at the mind and say, I'm not going to do it. It's just a nasty habit and it's just a waste of time. I cannot just keep feeding you for no reason over and over and over. I need to rest too. So leave me alone, because it doesn't change anything in my experience. That whatever I am experiencing it in any given moment throughout the day, judging somebody does not help me. Judging somebody on the basis of all the abstract concepts, if you understand, does not help me at all. It doesn't change anything in my life. It is not practical. It is not wise. So I discard what you are trying to feed me. I discard. You would create sufficient distance from yourself, and you would create sufficient distance from your thoughts. You see, but you have to be alert enough, and you have to have a willpower to use your free will so you can get rid of the karma. You see, so when you do meditation, it brings clarity in your perception. When you do meditation, I am, as I told you, I'm not in a state of samadhi right now. I am, as I said, that I am not in a state of samadhi right now, which is a rather profound and deep state of meditation, but I am still in a state of meditation. And all these words of truth and wisdom that I have just delivered were delivered to you basically without having any thought and intellect in my awareness. You see, this is how you become when you dedicate yourself to meditation. There is so much clarity within you that you don't even need to use your intellect. You would know everything just by being aware or just by being. That's it. Let's do some meditation. And then I can, what the word I'm looking for, let's do some meditation. Let's do some meditation, and then I can retrieve myself to the private meditation session. Okay? Namaskaram, bird.